So how the Betstamp True Line works is that it's a weighted aggregate of all of the 150 plus sports books that we're pulling into the software, and it's weighted depending on how efficient each of the sports books have been at setting their odds for that market. So what I mean by that is that an NFL money line market is not going to have the same weighting as a college football total, an NHL total. Every single market will have its own weighting based on the back testing that we've done. And where you're going to actually see the true line is in this green column. So if you're ever wondering what the true line is, you can just quickly take a look at this green column, which is always going to be on the left side of your screen. And you can quickly reference that whenever you're making a bet. If you are trying to find the biggest discrepancies to that true line, then that's where the sorting comes in. But basically how you're going to identify that on your screen is that any bet that's highlighted in a shade of blue, that's a positive edge to the true line. So you can see all of these bets that are highlighted in these lighter shades of blue. These are all small edges to the true line. So it's not like you have to constantly be comparing each bet manually to our true line and seeing if you can maybe find an edge. You're quickly just looking wherever you can find bets that are highlighted in a shade of blue, and the darker the shade of blue, the greater the edge. If you don't like that color scheme and you want to customize it yourself, you're welcome to do that as well. So if you go into settings and then you click on interface, you can see here what the default color coding is, which I like to use and a lot of our subscribers like to use. But like I said, if you want to customize that yourself, you're welcome to. So you can add as many rules as you want. You can see that you can choose whatever color that you want for each level of edge and set that up however you want so that it's the most intuitive for you for identifying those strong edges relative to the true line. A question that often comes up is, what are the thresholds that I should be using when deciding what to actually bet from the screen? And our answer for that would vary depending on what market that you're actually betting. But if we're just looking at the main market screen here and we're looking at these full-time markets, so the major money lines, spreads, and totals, any of those major markets, really anything above 1% expected value, you could be very confident that that is a long-term winning bet. And the reason why I say it depends on what market that you're actually betting is because our true lines are entirely derived from the market. So the more liquid that market is and the greater the number of references, the more confidence you can put into it.